This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
So they come to fight corruption in a world where the funds are enough and have been effective. What is corruption? Which corruption are you fighting? Where is the need to fight the corruption? Because if the funds are enough and they have been effective, then there is no problem. So that nullifies the issue of corruption. They come and pose human life versus wildlife. That is one of the clashes. And we clearly tell you right from my first speaker, the second speaker, and I here, we tell you that yes, there is endangerment of both wildlife and human life. We give you a scenario by the Independent dated 18th April 2018, whereby a stray lion attacked people in Kagadi district in Western Uganda, killed people, destroyed property. But at the end of the day, the UPDF soldiers actually killed the lion. Now we are already reducing on the already little number. So what are we doing as team proposition? We are saying we need these funds, one, to sensitize the masses. You realize this lion had been in the society for some good time and the masses had not reported to the authorities. So we want these funds to sensitize the masses on what to do and how to react on such situations. Number two, we need funds to set up more satellites to ensure that we can locate where these animals have gone and we can find a way of getting them back. We need more funds to deploy more game rangers to ensure that it is very hard for actually these animals to escape and cause danger to these people. And we should also tell the community on how they should react to all these things. So they ask us to give them accountability of their money. We have told you how there are 17 rhinos right from zero. We have told you how there is problem. But that doesn't take away the fact that these animals are in the red list. They're in danger of getting extinct because they're exposed to problems like poaching, which they agreed to. They agree that these problems are there. We tell you that there is poaching, climate change, road accidents, encroaching on game reserves, killings by the local community. These are all problems in status quo where they claim they have enough money, but they have not solved. That is why we say the money we have has been put to use. However, it has not solved the problems at hand that have endangered where I came from. One, human life and wildlife. So in order for us to protect human lives, if at all we had put more emphasis onto making sure that these lions are secure, those 3 men who died in Kagadi district in 2018 wouldn't have died because of these lion attacks. Number two, they say that there is enough money, but they don't show us how this money has solved all these problems at hand that has endangered these species that are next to what? Extinction. We front the issue of tourism, which has been a major issue in today's debate. They say that the economy is low. And we tell them that one, tourism in Uganda is an increasingly important contributor to its economy. The 1.5 million international arrivals combined with a growing number of domestic tourists generated 7.75% of the GDP and 6.7% of total national employment in 2018. Hence the need to protect these species on which the Ugandan tourism sector greatly depends. So if a sector is giving us enough and it is providing more than any other sector, why wouldn't we invest more to protect this sector so that it actually improves our economy? Doesn't that imply that our side of the world actually offers a better alternative? Rest and learn. Number two, we tell them that the Ziwa Rhino project had been put on hold of construction due to lack of funds. Now, we have told you right from my first speech that one of the endangered species are rhinos. And now if a project meant to secure these rhinos has been put on hold because of lack of funds, then where do they get the moral authority to tell us that they can actually uphold these species without even completing these other things that need to be completed? We tell you that we want to ensure that we enforce these laws. According to the Wildlife Act 2019, any offender convicted of crimes related to species classified as extinct in the wild or critically endangered face the highest penalty of paying a fine of 20 billion Uganda shillings or life imprisonment or even both. But we have seen people continuously poaching, but they have not been brought to law so that they face these consequences. That is why we need the money to deploy people, to deploy law enforcers in these places so that we can make sure that this is achieved. If they cannot tell us how they are going to solve deforestation, poaching, climate change, road accidents, encroaching game reserves, killings by the local community without the use of funds, then we shall agree to them. But we tell you we need these funds to sensitize the masses, to set up satellites, compensate losses, among others. I've never been prouder than to propose. I rest my case.
So My name is Mwemazi Arnold from Kyambogo College School. Now, Pano, what are we debating in today's debate? It's on the increment of funds in the wildlife sector, right? That's what we are debating. That's what they have forgotten. We are not entirely on the people. Now, we are on the increment on the endangered species in the wildlife. That's what they are forgetting. Now, they come and say that they are going, one of the reasons as to why they are requesting for money, they are going to work on afforestation and sensitization of people. Now, that's why we tell you now, no need of increment of funds, because we already have bodies that should work up to that. We have NEMA in place. It should work up to what we call afforestation and reforestation. They come and talk about sensitization of people. We have the Uganda Life Education Center. What does it do? What does it do, if at all it doesn't do its work? Those are the forms of corruption as to what we are telling you we have to solve as team negators. Now, there's no need of increasing when we already have laws in place. They come and say that one of the things they want to do, according to the money they are requesting, which they haven't given us accountability and how much they need, they say they want to enforce laws. When the government of Uganda, the legislature is going to set laws, it also puts the people who have to implement laws, the people who have to enforce those laws, which means those people are in existence. They are having money that they don't work for. So, in other words, no need of adding them money. That's what they are forgetting. They come and say that, you know what, they come and say that, you know what, one of the reasons, the money that is in place we are giving them is treating animals, is making them safe, treating animals and making them safe. Which other money do they need to work up to the endangered species? What is the reason of adding more money? We see that initially, the budget of wildlife, we had given it as a government, we had given it 89 billion, but we increased it to 220.3 billion, because we knew there is a fight, we have to fight for the endangered species, because we are the pearl of Uganda. So there's no need for another increment we can do to it. So, which means they are trying to embezzle funds. Now they come and say that if at all we say that we have earned what the wildlife has to earn, and again we are saying corruption.
Point of information.
Corruption, we accept we have endangered species that are about to extinct. Yeah. Now, the reason that they are about to extinct are the forms of corruption we are trying to fight as team negators. Those forms of corruption that we have ghost people that are working in the government,
Point
that are
of
earning money for
information.
no good reason. As to what they say, they need more money to again give to the people that do not work for the government. So, in other words, before we give them money, let's first ask them, give us the accountability of the money we give you. Give us accountability. If we see the accountability that you are dealing with, you are also putting the endangered species in place. That's when we shall add you money. But now, if endangered species are also not in place, the money is taken by the people, by the authorities, by corruption that is increasingly.
Point of information.
You cannot tell us to add you more money when you are seeing the money not doing its job. So, those are the forms of corruption we come and tell you. We come and say that, you know what, one of the reasons as to why we think we should...
You need this one, Speaker.
Granted.
Thank you. So if the money has been effective and it has solved all the problems like you allege, where is the corruption coming from? It hasn't
solved problems because you say we have endangered species that are going to extinct. Those are the forms of corruption we are talking about. They have money, but they are not working up to what the money is allocated for. That's what we want to remove. That's what we want to eradicate. We come and tell you that you cannot...
Point of information.
You cannot literally add money to the wildlife, which we added money recently, and now forget about what about the health sector in Uganda that has to be worked upon? What about the education sector? We are seeing the new curriculum coming in place. Those people, the young people, need instruments, need instruments to work upon their projects. What about those people? Because those things are not in place. So which means we are entirely putting a sector that gives 7.75% to the GDP only to take the whole amount of money of Uganda. We cannot account to that. We are not saying that we are not going to deal with endangered species. That's why we tell you that, first of all, in our work plan, we have to first fight those forms of corruption that are in the wildlife. We need to fight them. Now, we come and tell you that initially, according to the report of the Uganda Tourism Board on its website, it says it received $10 million as a donation to work up to the tourism sector. Now, where does that money go? You need more money. That is a donation. We already have donation in place. We cannot add you more money that is going to be embezzled when we are on a deficit budget. Totally, we cannot do that. We come and tell you that that we have misuse of what? Misuse of funds in this sector. So we can, before we fight the corruption sector, the corruption thing in it, we cannot add it more money. I'm proud to negate. Thank you.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.